Hey everyone, this is Freestyle Nath. Welcome back to another adventure. In today's video, we're heading up Stanley Mountain here in beautiful Colorado. Tag along some breathtaking cinematics and be part of the journey. And stick around until the end. There's a little surprise where I share a story behind why I started this YouTube channel. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. And without ado, let's roll the video. Alright everyone, so we have finally made it to the spot, and I gotta say, all the snow around is quite frankly very crazy. And if I do stick around until I think it's 2 o'clock or so, there's supposed to be 10 to 15 centimeters of snow. So I gotta say, pretty crazy. Did not expect it to have that much snow, at least, what are we now, 3rd of October, but at least on 5th of October. But yeah, honestly, screams Colorado. However though, we made it to the trail. You know the jib. Let's get rolling. Just like that, we made it to the peak of the hike. Isn't this absolutely beautiful? And not just that, I got super duper lucky with the wind. There's basically no wind. But out there in the far distance, where's my little index rotating? This is where Winter Park would be. And then this would be your Highway 40, I think is what it's called. But anyway, it brings you to the Berthoud Pass. Cool mountains. And it looks like there's a mine down here, which I generally was not aware of, but they got quite the crazy setup. I don't know if they do. Shoot, earlier they had a couple of carts going down this little track there, but it was pretty cool. But no, overall, fantastic. This is awesome. But no, without waiting, let's go back to the car and keep these views in my memory. to wrap it up for all the cinematic shots, I think we should be back enough inside of the woods for me to tell you guys a little story. I feel like I've never shared this before, but a lot of my friends do know why I started this YouTube channel. However, though, I never really actually said the story to you guys. So this actually goes all the way back to whenever I was 12 years old. So that would be like, oh my god, 10 years. I'm so old. But you know, whenever I was 12 years old, I started to do some freestyle scootering. And to the ones who have no clue, what am I talking about? You know that little dinky scooter that you can like hop on and push with your foot? Well, if you've seen the rest of my YouTube channel, you can see that I do some pretty wild tricks on that thing. And honestly, whenever I talked about it to my friends back in middle school, because I would have been, I think 6th or 7th grade, something in that ballpark, and I'll be like, yeah guys, like I do all these like crazy tricks on my scooter, like I do this and this and this. Like, you know, if I tell someone, yeah, I can do a bar spin, a tail whip, a 360 on a scooter, if you have no clue or zero knowledge in any freestyle sports, you're just gonna look at me with like big ol' eyes saying, what did this kid just say? So whenever I went back on one of my evenings, one of my good old friends, Jason, he suggested to me, he was like, Nathaniel, how come you don't get an Instagram account? So honestly, everything actually started my Instagram account called Freestyle Nath, which is still alive today. And that's where I started to post some of my little scooter tricks and all of that. Obviously, you know, I was like 13 years old / 12, so like, you know, the videos were a little bit cringy, let's just put it that way. But anywho, my friends back at school really enjoyed the videos I was posting, and they were like, oh my god, Nathaniel, this is like so cool, all this stuff that you do. And if you think about it, you know, like I'd have a couple of friends who would play like basketball, soccer, and etc. If I wanted to go see what they actually did, I'd just go up to one of their games and then watch them play, you know? And then from there I can see how good they are and how much of a good time they're having. However though, when it comes to scootering, you can't really watch that other than videos. So again, my friend Jason, he suggested, he was like, you know, Nathaniel, I'm very passionate about all this scootering stuff. You love to do all these tricks and etc. And he's like, how about you just start yourself a YouTube channel? Now, part of the reason why he suggested that is he himself owned a YouTube channel where he did some gaming content on it. And he was like, Nathaniel, just do some vlogging content. And back in the old days, I used to watch Tanner Fox. He's a very old scooter rider. He used to be crazy good. I have no sweet clue what he's doing now, but you have this like mixture of like scootering / vlogging content. And I was like, this is so awesome, because like he could entirely share what he was doing throughout his perspective. So in other words, being able to share his passion, but at the same time explain it. So I was like, okay, you're onto something, Jason. I think I'm going to absolutely start a YouTube channel. That's where it kind of all kick-started. And then Jason kind of helped me with setting up all the channel and all of that. Also, just for context, not Jason from Sully's, Jason from one of my good old friends from middle school, and we still chat there and there. But yeah, he helped me set up my YouTube channel. I did my first video, kind of, you know, started spreading the word back at school of my YouTube channel. Now, I understand. You may be watching this and you're probably like, holy days, you must have absolutely gotten bullied. Crazy enough, 50-50. Obviously, there's someone that, of course, there'll be someone out there who's going to be hating on whatever XYZ that you may actually do in life. But the people that actually enjoyed it, they were super duper passionate about it. And they were like, dude, you gotta keep up this awesome content. And then honestly, it kind of just built up from there. Then expanded into freestyle biking, BMX in other words. Then afterwards, hiking, backpacking, skiing, and pretty much all the content that I do to today. But yeah, honestly, that's how my YouTube channel started. It was all because I wanted some form of platform to actually be able to share what I did on my little dinky scooter. And I look at that, it evolved into all of the content that is currently found onto my YouTube channel. But yeah, honestly, if you're listening to this and you are yourself debating whether or not to start a YouTube channel, just do it. It's fun. And, you know, even if it doesn't turn out too well, at least all the videos that you would have had made are going to be awesome memories for you to look back at. But yeah, that's pretty much how Freestyle Nath came alive. Oh, and last point, since I'm curious, if you're currently watching this video and you're one of the OG subscriber, let us say if you've been subscribed to my YouTube channel since my channel was like a year old, if that makes sense, please drop a comment down below. I'm genuinely curious who is still watching my content throughout these 10 years. And also, this is just absolutely awesome, man. Colorado is beautiful. Let's go. We are finally back at my car. Well, a few meters, but there. All right, everyone, so we are finally back home, and I gotta say, that was an absolute fantastic hike. If you ever do want to check it out, I highly recommend it. There's also a bunch of parking found right by the overpass, so you simply just park your car out there, and then afterwards you can just pop up Ultra or whichever map you're using, and you can just start the hike from there. Yeah, no, I highly recommend it. Otherwise, though, that is going to end today's video. Please stay tuned for the next upcoming video. It is going to be a surprise. This is going to be a skiing video or a hiking video, to be determined, though. However, though, on that note, as always, thanks a lot for watching, everyone, and hope you guys enjoyed the video.